First and foremost, the relevant recruiter that you're teaching your clients is incredible. It's unlike any other that we've seen. Mike and I have attended many webinars, many training conferences, if you will, even other programs. And this was the only one that delivered results within 30 days. I mean, within 30 days, we had identified and successfully recruited a candidate, an electrical engineer, for a client of ours that we've been working on since February. We had secured somebody 3 months later amidst this whole COVID outbreak and everything, who had an offer. At that point, we then, started your program in August, and by September we had an offer for, somebody that came through your lead generation system. And the modules that we go through are very informative. They are very clear and concise and realistic. And I love the fact that you give us call to action items to do, which is like our homework in essence to the program. Right. And and then we talk about that with you. So, you really assess and help us, guide us along the way. That one-on-one and in a group setting is just phenomenal too.
I met Donnie about 1.5 years ago on just a basic introductory meeting, and was looking for lead generation solutions, marketing ideas, and met Donnie, and it's made a tremendous difference for my business. I saw a return on investment that I totally was not expecting, but at the same time created a true asset for my organization. I trust him. I value our relationship. I value his advice. I think it's worth the amount of time and effort that you would put into it, and it could make a huge difference in the future of your business.
Engaging Donnie as a marketing coach has honestly been the best decision of my professional career. Within the first 4 weeks of working with Donnie one-on-one in the Relevant Recruiter program, I was able to get 3 new exclusive retained searches as a direct result of our work together. Working with Donnie has added more than 6 figures to my annual income, and I'm so grateful I took the leap in engaging his help.
The way that working with you took my business was really from being a pure outbound to a whole lot of inbound with, of course, I still do some outbound, especially on the business development side. Yep. But my recruiting, for the most part, just became automated because I would consistently, post LinkedIn articles or, write my own content, and people would actually tell me, "Oh, I've been following your content for a few months and wanted to reach out to you because I'm looking for a job." I was like, "Oh, really? Okay." So, doing that along with some of the, technology automation that we've talked about, it really put a lot of the business on autopilot, which frankly is incredibly helpful because as a small business owner, you're wearing so many hats beyond just the day-to-day. Like if it took me, I still work a ton of hours, but it took me from probably working, 80 hours a week to 50 hours a week, which is something I'm grateful for.
Savings are savings.
Right, exactly. So, I would have goals for myself in terms of from an activity standpoint, like how many interviews should I be doing a week? How many client reach outs should I be doing a week? And being able to interview 10 other recruiters a week without really having to do a whole lot of outbound sourcing is incredibly helpful.
Donnie's the bomb. So if you're not working with him, you should, because the stuff that I'm always looking. So yes, I'm a recruiting firm, but I think of myself as a media company now, and I have to be on the front end. I have to be on the innovating edge, or my company. It's always this, if you're not disrupting, you're going to die. Your business is going to fail because there's so much going on in every business. So what Donnie has showed me, to me, is revolutionary, and it is incredible, the technology behind the scenes, and it just streamlines everything. So my marketing is working without me picking up the phone, which is such a beautiful thing, so that I can focus on other parts of my business.
You've encouraged us to take a look at some of the things that we write. We have videos now that talk about what we do. And one of the things that you've taught us, we do all of our own writing, but when we show it to you, I'm actually very impressed with how you can not change what we've said or our words, but just organize it in a little bit of a different way so it grabs people's attention.
I didn't understand the value of video at all. And I would say that has been a huge game changer for Katie and I. And you pushing us to get out there from a video perspective, because we both have so much passion and so much energy and so much love for what we do. And that doesn't always come across in email and text messages and just written copy, right? And I think that the second that we shifted our mindset around the video, and we were able to like let our personality shine, we were attracting what we were putting out. And it was amazing. I can't believe that we didn't do that sooner, right? Because we were able to show up unapologetically, be ourselves, show up in an authentic way. And the people that resonated with it are the ones that are working with us. And at the end of the day, like, what more could you want? You know, you want to work with people that kind of speak your language and that you resonate with and that you have those same values. And the second we started putting ourselves out there, especially from a video perspective, we were getting what we were putting out, and that was really cool. It really is what took our business from here to here.
I've walked away with the ability to really feel like I'm touching probably 10 times more people than I was prior to knowing Donnie, and I do feel like the content, my brand, just how I'm going to market has even changed. And I can tell you this, like some of the most recent posts that I've done out there are different than what I used to, and they have increased by the thousands.
I know that we've been working together, I think now for probably about 6 to 7 months. And you know, when we first talked, I told you that the majority of my business is done in the last quarter of the year, first quarter of the year, just because of the space that we're in. And I knew that we were making an investment for the long haul, but that's all starting to come to fruition and start to pay off. Give you some numbers just real quick. We've gotten 3 new clients since October because of the Relevant Recruiter method. We've gotten 5 new searches. Our candidate engagement is up probably about 50 to 60%. We've got a senior manager position with a public accounting firm and 2 manager level searches that are 120, 130K, and then the senior manager job's 150K job.
We had excellent success, almost from day one. First and foremost, getting everyone aligned on the same process, so we're all speaking the same language, we're all doing the same techniques. I think a lot of your program is really designed and geared towards like having individual success, so that the voice of the individuals doing the sale really comes through. But we've seen, you know, certain people on our team will try one technique that you propose and have outstanding success, and they won't have as much success with another individual. But we've been able to work together as a team to like coordinate and find the strategies and techniques that work best in the vertical we're talking to, and in the, you know, even vertical to vertical, some of the techniques have to change and have to be tweaked. And we've the fact that your program, you approach it week to week as like, we're going to try some things, we're going to experiment and then tweak, right? And that has been valuable to us.
You opened my eyes to how important my brand is, and posting on LinkedIn and posting to social media. You know, the tools that you taught me to use, I had absolutely no idea. I was not using any tool other than LinkedIn, and now I'm making an investment in other tools that you've recommended, and I see return on investment, which is outstanding. Your course, it totally opened up my eyes. I thought I was doing everything with LinkedIn that I could be, being that I'm kind of a veteran with LinkedIn, and I had no idea how much, especially the branding that you taught me to do. I mean, my LinkedIn connections in the first month went up 5,000 people. And I mean, that's not even just people I was reaching out to. Those were people seeing my posts, reaching out to me. And it's, you know, overall, just my business is far more exciting now.
Donnie was saying stuff that resonated. As we know, recruiters, recruiter trainers, just all they talk about is hammering the phones. 100 dials a day. It's tired, it's old. I've never done it that way, and I never want to do it that way. Donnie was saying something different, and I have thoroughly enjoyed the program. He has laid the steps out very specifically. He's got a lot of things for us to learn and do. And it isn't just, here's what to do, go do it. It is, the difference for me about this program is more than any other trainer anywhere. He has helped you step by step. Every time there's a little obstacle and resistance, he has helped you through it. There's definitely work to do, getting some writing down, definitely pushing your comfort zones. He understands it, he's used to it, and he will make sure that you do push your comfort zone.
I engaged Donnie as I was wanting to bring my niche to the US market. So wanted to get some automation, some help around digital marketing, as well as social media. So, and also with the view that Donnie has a lot of clients in the US, so I wanted some people for my team, and I thought he might be the right person to be able to help me out with that. He's delivered for me. Donnie's been able to get me 2 really good people to sit within my business that are very good cultural fit for what I'm all about. And Donnie really has become an extension of our business and almost like our marketing director. He's been great around social engagement, even coaching us around what we need to be doing around our content. We've got a very successful podcast within the treasury space, and Donnie's been able to really help us leverage that podcast, get our name out in the marketplace and really make an impact within our niche.
That's what I've said to people when I'm talking about you. Is he a recruiter? No, he's not. But you know what? The last time I went to my doctor, I didn't check to see if he was a recruiter before he became a doctor. I could care less about that. What this guy knows is he knows social media, marketing, positioning, and how to do that, and he just chose by chance to do it in our space, and we get to benefit from that. And I watched you, I watched your delivery, I watched your message, I listened to your message, we connected on a couple of calls. And what I look for is I look for authenticity, I look for honesty, I look for consistency, I look for not somebody that's just riding a wave and is going to change. Somebody that is committed to doing something a certain way because that tells me they believe in it. When we talk, did you ask me, just as any good salesperson would, what's it going to take to move forward? Yes. But did I ever felt like I was being sold to? Never. Never. And so those were things that resonated with me. What you did, how you did it, the message you sold, and pretty soon I resigned myself to the fact that I sat down at the beginning of 2020 when we put together our plan and built in a marketing piece to be able to connect with you and start working with you. But prior to that, it was, you want to buy a chicken? 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 I mean, that's kind of what it's like when you do that 100 times a day.
Right. And I also like the beginning of the process that you put recruiters through with regard to an analysis of what your personal and professional goals are and what the, and it is a basic prospect, the basic premise to say what the pains are of your prospects, because that really helps you focus in on things. And once you do that, you realize that these are the things that, you can see how the things that you're trying to get us to do will advance your goals and basically alleviate the problems that the prospects are, might be having. It was helpful.
The 6 P's that you had us do,
right.
That would help keep on our desk as a point of reference, so that if we start to, go astray a little bit, even in marketing calls, it's right. Very helpful because we can draw on that to help structure the call that we're having.
One of the things that we do in the program too, right? You're honing in on your market, and if you've done your marketing due diligence, well, then this is an opportunity to see, is it right, to check the temperature on that and be like, I don't know, is there something you could be dialing in more on? So I think that was helpful and in what I've done. And so I was able to kind of get a little more pointed in it and a little, in my messaging too. So I think it's been really receptive. And then of course, yeah, to your point, like my market cares about aesthetics and all of those things are important. I find you're very accessible. I think one of the things that I was worried about initially, and this could be something, is if I needed more one-on-one, because it's a program. And I think that's the surprise. I was like, oh, I need, a little more one-to-one. You're accessible, you're available whenever I need you. You give all the one-to-one, but within a community. And now I have peers too, which is really cool. Throughout the country, in recruiters, and masterminds of any kind are like so valuable because you bounce off, I don't know, I just can't even stress it. Whatever it is that you're trying to improve upon, find a mastermind in that area. So I think it's valuable. So that's a big surprise, is that I don't think I needed like a marketing, agency to do this, or, so there's a lot more value I get from it.
Now that I'm working with Donnie, we've got our message being delivered to literally thousands of plastics industry hiring managers around the country, and it's driving some business in our direction. The biggest challenge I overcame was getting traffic coming to me more than us coming to them. So we're able to focus more on filling jobs than we are on business development, and business is coming to us instead of us having to go to it all the time. We've got several new techniques that we've implemented, and we've gotten a number of job orders because of it, and that coupled with our ongoing business has been really a good thing for us. What makes Donnie different, but I can tell you that he digs in and helps me when I'm having problems and doesn't just shove it back on me and say, hey, go fix this. When I'm struggling with something, he actually digs in and helps. He'll literally take over my computer and help me fix the things that I don't really fully understand, and then he takes a lot of time to explain why we're doing what we're doing, and that way going forward I can do it on my own.
I specialize in software engineers, and after doing Donnie Gupton's program, I really owned that niche. I've been teetering on that idea for the last probably year of being on my own, whether I should really own that niche, and since going through the program, I felt more confident in doing so, and I cannot say enough great things about why that is so much more powerful than where I was 6 months ago. I did the program. I was not sure. It's my hard-earned money that spent the investment. I definitely went on a limb to do that, and I walked away feeling very confident that this was a great use of my money. It will be a great use of yours. You will learn something new. You will increase your presence online, and you will look and feel as though you are the industry expert and dominate that market. That's what he told me I would feel afterwards, and I 100% feel that way.
I highly recommend Donnie Gupton and his Relevant Recruiter program. I first discovered Donnie, I would see his promotions or his advertising on LinkedIn. I would ignore it. Then I would see him on Facebook and I would ignore it. But over time, he got into my head because he was saying things that resonated with me. I don't even really know what I was looking for. I think I just wanted to really keep up on technology and marketing and what recruiters should know to stay relevant and to stay current. I was busy before and I have remained busy, but I feel much more confident about the seeds that I'm planting, the way I am positioning myself in my industry. I'm definitely showing up differently to other recruiters who are right in my tiny, tiny niche.
Working with Donnie and going through the Relevant Recruiter program, best decision ever, 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 ever. If you are, like myself, looking for a way to do it all, if you're a solopreneur and you're looking for a way to automate these processes, a way to have your marketing run, your business development running while you sleep, then I highly suggest working with Donnie. Donnie was available to answer any questions. I could call him, send him an email, message him, and he would respond very quickly with the exact answer I needed.
You really lay things out and structure it in a way that makes it very clear to go from point A of zero sales process to point B, where things are automated in a way where we're able to see some early wins. I believe that it's a lot simpler than a lot of people fear. It just takes a little bit of work and a little bit of effort, and you just have to dive in. Getting to results quickly was a big surprise.
I worked with Donnie Gupton to help me in my recruiting business, and there were a few things that really stuck out to me, and part of that was just getting a new perspective. I felt kind of stuck at the time, felt like I needed to do some things, and really appreciated him helping me look at my business instead of just doing the same thing over and over. Gave me a fresh perspective and really helped me sharpen my focus on what it was and is that I want to accomplish. He introduced me to some new tools and gave me the courage to change some of the things I was just used to doing every day.
And I started working with Donnie Gupton when I was feeling unmotivated, untethered, and just kind of lost on how to build business. Donnie reached out to me at just the right time, and I did his Relevant Recruiter program, and it was a great way to get me on track and teach me about things like making videos and feeling comfortable marketing our company and our process a little bit better.
But if you want to stay in the game, you have to be relevant. That's why I think it was very, very intelligent for you to call it the relevant recruiter. Because first of all, if you're going to do this thing, you want to be successful. And I mentioned before, you can't use the old tools like faxing out or voicemail. And if you're going to do it, you know, what's the point in doing it unless you're going to be successful? And you also can't look like a relic. You know, I don't care what people think, but on the other hand, you're wasting your time. You don't want to waste your time, and you want to be able to help candidates and clients, and you can't do that if you're, you know, it's like yesterday, I was thinking about it, yesterday's newspaper, but you know, I don't even read a newspaper anymore. I read my phone. You know, so you got to move on. You got to stay with the time, and you have to be current. And if you're not, then you better just get out of business, because you're gonna wind up going out of business. You're gonna wind up. Nobody's gonna be listening to your voicemails. Nobody's looking at your spam emails. And I mean, if you're not gonna change with the times, then it's just gonna pass you by. You'll be a blacksmith.
On the candidate sourcing side, we were able to identify 3 candidates within under 60 days through your program that all got offers. And that was something that we did not have before. It's saving us time. We're able to reach out to a more vast network of professionals, specifically by technical skills, industry, geographical location. I mean, we can really fine-tune what we're looking for in each recruiting engagement we're working on. And so we're finding quality over a vast amount of people that we just didn't have that capability before. So we're really grateful for that.
Since working with you, my social media has blown out. Like, people are like, oh my gosh, I love your stuff and you're so active. And it's like, I have a vision and the end game, and I've got to keep trudging my way towards the end game to get there. And so I don't have a lot of hesitancy though. If you said, so that's why when we joined your program, Donnie, and you had said the caveat in the beginning, like, you have to implement. I have people that I train that don't implement and they're not going to see success. Well, if you tell me jump, I'll jump.
And you really, I mean, from the beginning, have always been saying do content marketing, you know, get your name out there beyond just trying to provide an immediate sale. And I think that now it's more of an I told you so than ever.
Yeah.
You know, that's exactly what people need to be doing right now.
Yep. I hate to say I told you so, but
I'll say it for you. It's okay.
Yeah. No, yeah, you know.
I think after doing that video, I had 5 new job orders. It's like, people just, instead of me going out to find new clients, they all really wanted to work with me. I don't know. I don't think the video is that special, but maybe just separating myself with the video versus just a LinkedIn profile didn't. But it was a little overwhelming. I had people, you know, one day I had like 57 people wanting to connect with me that I had no idea who they were, but they had seen the video. Then I got a star the next week that said I just won an award for a SaaS LinkedIn influencer based on how many views and posts and all that.
I discovered Donnie to work with him to figure out ways to automate the inbound marketing so that I could kind of set some systems up, put them in place, and have those generate leads for me to pursue, and so basically automate the biz dev part of it. And so working with Donnie just has been phenomenal for a couple reasons. One is that the main thing that I've been able to do is really expand my network of CIOs around the country. This is typically my client, and Donnie is just tools and systems and automation things that I had no idea existed that have enabled me to automate that process of outreach, initial contact, nurturing those contacts, and has increased my contact base of CIOs to potential clients in my target market by 1,200 people in just a couple of months.
So we signed up for you in February. We're so excited. And then I don't think I have to remind everyone what the last couple of months have been like, right? I mean, March hits and essentially every single client that we had, hiring freeze, everything stopped. Everything came to a screeching halt. And we were terrified because we'd already made that investment with you. And it, you know, we took it as sort of a sign like, hey, let's slow down. Let's go all in with Donnie. If there's a time to do it, it's going to be now. We lost all of our jobs that we had open beginning of March. And it just so happens that that's when we started implementing your program. I mean, we signed up with you in February, but it took us a couple of weeks to really change our mindset and dial in on our niche market, right? And so when we said, okay, this is who we are, this is what we're going after, we put that in action. We started with the marketing campaign. We had more signed contracts in April, May than we had, I think, in the last 7 months prior to that, during COVID. It was amazing. Companies were still hiring. And this was a time for us to slow down and really go all in on our brand and who we were. And it showed. It showed. So I think since March, right? I'll say March because that's when we officially put your stuff into action. Mm-hmm. We've had close to 10 new contracts, probably at least 15 job orders in the last 3 months through COVID.
So I would consider Donnie very much an extension of my business, almost like my outsourced marketing director. He's brought some great insight and really been able to help us in growing our business into what was a blank sheet of paper in the US to becoming a very well-known specialist within our niche.
The biggest challenge that I was able to overcome by working with Donnie was really building a brand. I think that that's primarily the value that I got from the marketing that Donnie taught me how to do. And the most surprising thing to me was probably how inspired I was to just continue in my self-development, not only in business, but with my relationships and as a mom and with my fitness and my health. It really opened up a door to how available this type of training is. While I'm in my home office, it really kind of lit a fire under me.
I would say honestly, probably the biggest surprise is the time investment on your part to make sure that we're moving forward with things. In past life, I've been a part of different trainings, if you will, not necessarily digital marketing, but other trainings that were, here's the cookbook, here's the recipe book, go figure out how to cook. And that was probably that was a very nice surprise for me, because I can go try to figure out how to do it, but having somebody there to coach me, train me, teach me, question, get me to question, but also encourage and drill into my head, progress over perfection. Just get it out there. Don't worry about it. And I think probably one of the biggest things, and it's kind of a double-edged sword. In the beginning, you're worried, well, what if I do this and people don't like it? Well, here's my take on that is in the beginning, not a whole lot of people are looking at it. So don't worry about, and even though you didn't say that, what you kept telling me, don't worry about it, just do it. And you have to get to a point where you're willing to do that, and having you in the corner to help get past those initial steps was huge. And I think also you're very good being a part of the different calls that we've been on as groups. I think one of the things that I was very pleased about is you're very good at understanding the strengths of the different people that you're coaching at the time, because we all are different personalities. You knew where to push me versus not push somebody else as hard, because you knew that I'd be willing to take that step with a little bit more faith, just because of how I'm wired, than somebody else that maybe is a little bit more skeptical and needs a little bit more encouragement and coaching and walking through that process.
Within the first 3 weeks, I remember calling you being like, Donnie, I cannot believe we didn't do this day one. And I was just talking to someone the other day. I know that it seems like it's an investment, right, at the beginning, but the return on investment is 10 times over, which is why I re-upped with you, and Katie and I are still working with you. We were almost to the point where we don't want to not work with you, right? Because we know what it looks like. You've seen it. You're the expert when it comes to marketing. And all we do is take what you say, add our personal touch to it. And it works and it's proven, right?
Yeah.
So I wish we just done it sooner.
Having the framework and structure in place that you helped provide us, I'm already seeing potential things in the future where we can automate things even more. I think it helps to have a guru guide you through like the initial, just say like, here's the framework where you're going to work in. And it kind of puts like the bumpers in bowling where it's like, just throw the ball down the lane, you're going to hit some pins. We started to see pretty massive success within the first month. And I wish, we'd seen your advertisements for years and at least a year. I'd been following you kind of half-heartedly. If we started earlier, we'd be much further along.
What makes Donnie so different is he is an internet marketing guru. He's not a recruiter. He's not a recruiting firm owner. He is a marketing expert.
Since working with Donnie, I've saved hours of manual work each week, and then the majority of my business is now inbound.